So, let me start with no further delay. Because this morning I was trying to write down my presentation. I didn't have the time to prepare everything, so I'll try to be as brief as possible. Welcome to our conference for breastfeeding. So why breastfeeding? Personally, as a pediatrician, I believe it is the most important and crucial thing that we should try to offer to our children in the beginning of their life that will actually escort them till the end of their life. Why are we celebrating today? Because as you just saw, you will actually hear, it's been 10 years since our Galaxy was established, the International Breastfeeding Association of Greece. And we are quite happy because we are also celebrating 40 years of La Leche League, the League of Breastfeeding of Greece. That is why we thought if Galaxy is actually representing the International Association as a certified association for breastfeeding, we believe that could be a great momentum to be able to have the representatives, as we're going to hear tomorrow, people from La Leche League, along with the volunteers who help women to be able to breastfeed. Now, by seeing the different books of the two foreign speakers who we have today with us, Dr. Jack Newman and Dr. Kendall Tackett, I fully understood, and you will also see, that the different problems related to breastfeeding, leaving aside the comfort zone from Greece, are rather international. We are not dealing, in other words, with Greek issues. But of course, this creates an additional challenge and burden for all of us to be able to tackle these issues, because breastfeeding suffers from different international interests and conflicts that have nothing to win from a child who is breastfed. But I believe that it mainly there is a great challenge for people who we believe, and I put myself in this group of people, that we know what is breastfeeding, that we love breastfeeding, and we need to support breastfeeding. Because if we do commit mistakes, we who breastfeed, people, families, mothers who look upon us feel betrayed. That is why I think that we should try to support essentially breastfeeding and people who want to breastfeed. In the framework of this event, of this conference, I should absolutely make a reference and refer to some people who have helped us a lot in the organization of this conference, and that is why we think that I need to thank Vicky Bazula Papadaki, but if Vicky was not with us, and through her support, we would not host this conference, and we would have such an eloquent atmosphere. Vicky, in the framework of La Leche League, will talk tomorrow. Unfortunately, initially we had quite some promises from different scheme organizations, from communication, from energy, from telco, from transport. They didn't finally support us, leaving aside Ameta. I'm referring now, in other words, to our sponsors, because we referred to more than 80 people, 80 associations. But what it was really sensitive here to see was the fact that we had some minor organizations from Rethymno, from Heraklion, and from Greece who supported our conference. And I believe this has its own significance, and we truly want to help them for that. I wish also to thank the Municipality of Rethymno and the Vice Governor of Rethymno and Crete, who supported this event. Moreover, I would kindly like to thank the IBCLC of Crete, Vicky Danilatu, Olga Teddy, who just had her child. It is not with us today, but still, she helped a lot. I want to also thank Sofia Levizaki, Lina Stefanaki, who helped us with the translation of the different PowerPoints that you will actually see in two screens beforehand. And of course, I would also like to thank the members of the Board of Directors of Galaxias, of Galaxy, who helped us a lot and tried to help us out at any moment, from Athens, Thessaloniki, from their own post, in other words. But I need also to thank all of you, and through your support, and I mean your financial support, will help us all survive and be able to prosper. Because among us, we do have also people from other European associations, attendees of the conference. At this moment, I would like to make a brief parenthesis for the minor sponsors. We have the Klapsinaki bookstore, the Klapsinakis bookstore that offers the books for breastfeeding, and there's going to be a 15% discount for those of you who wish to buy a book, and that's why I wanted to inform you about that. I would also to thank the Voices of the South for Nestou Notou, and incentives initiated by Kraunakis, Stamatis Kraunakis here in Rethymno, and tomorrow at 8 o'clock at the Odeon, we will have a short concert on the globality of the world and globalization, but our child is the whole world, because even a drip of breast milk is the world for a child. Rethymno helped us host people from Ireland, Texas, people who love and support breastfeeding, and we wish to thank them, the Voices of the South, for Nestou Notou. But I believe the best possible speech to start the conference is a comment by Mr. Papavenzis, who unfortunately is not with us here today, who said in his Facebook page that it is innovative for Greece to be able to host so many people who support breastfeeding. We have La Leche League, we have Galaxias, Galaxy in other words, Alkioni, the initiative Alkioni from the Institute of Health for the Child. And all of these people are with us. So we have the local authorities and even the Minister of Health. Thus, all of these are correlated with some other artistic events. We will have the Voices of the South concert, we'll have some dance events. And though we have different approaches, we managed here today to gather all these different cultural activities. And what I was thinking this moment when I was preparing my speech, and this is something that I discussed with Pepi Veliraki, the Vice Mayor, back in July. So if we see things together, so it's been quite some months since July 2017, so 9 months since my discussions with the adjunct mayor. It was, let's say, a pregnancy of this discussion, which was quite challenging. Now, the birth had started quite some days, I don't know, my back suffers, to be honest, in my attempt to give birth to this conference. But I believe now that this new child is born, in other words, our conference, I believe we will receive the fruits of this event. And whenever, of course, a child is born, the first thing that we need to do is, of course, breastfeeding. So with no further delay, I wish to start our conference with a short address by local authorities, and then we shall start talking about the topic itself, in other words, breastfeeding. Thank you. So, according to the protocol, I believe it's the mayor who needs to start. Or is it the minister? I don't know. So, let us hear the mayor of Rethymno. So, good morning, Mr. Minister, dear friends, dear colleagues, representatives of local authorities. Of course, I'm the most appropriate person to talk about breastfeeding and the relationship between mother-child, but I wish to say that I'm one of the people who have benefited from breastfeeding, because I used to be breastfed by my mother, because she used to breastfeeding for more than 2 years, so that's why I hadn't had milk since then. I'm really the bad guy in my people, because I say, did you add any milk? Did you add any cheese? Because I cannot eat milk anymore or drink milk. This is one of my issues. Anyway, so let's start in a more relaxed atmosphere. And let me say that, indeed, you need to be rather heroic to be able to host such events and conferences. And I wish to thank all of the collaborators and, of course, the organizers. because it is very important to be able to host such an event, to be able to participate in such a conference with such esteemed speakers. So I'm glad, as a mayor of the city, to be able to see such beautiful synergies and collaborations between the scientific world in a highly important topic, a crucial topic, for which there is quite of erroneous information, there is ignorance, and at the same time it is one of the most important chapters for the life of a child and a newborn. Rethymno is a hostable city, and our municipality tries always to support such great initiatives. And of course, another group of doctors tomorrow will talk about longevity in another area. So it is important that Rethymno is a hub of medical events. We're truly equally happy to have the Minister of Health from Rethymno. So I'm honored, and I believe that the messages that you will hear and we will hear will be understood in his own framework. In terms of his responsibilities and duties, he will be able to support this fruitful discussion that it will be held during the following 2 days. And equally, we will see probably some legislative acts on the topic. Now, breastfeeding is an issue that we believe is just about women. But this is a mistake. It is an issue which is related to every member of a family. And we need to have a supportive environment for women, for mothers, to be able to breastfeed. That is why, through the different schemes and projects of the Municipality of Rethymno, we send fathers in the different open areas for mothers to be able to receive the appropriate amount of time to be able to breastfeed. Because, yes, we used to say that men are not dedicated to do such work, but we need to support women even in these moments of breastfeeding. It is not just about a photo, but it is actually a true great process. I also want to congratulate all these collectivities. I have noted of them, but unfortunately I didn't have all of them, so I will not refer to any of them. I wish to thank all of these associations, all of these NGOs, all these organizations who help and support our children, our health, and you transfer and transpose your knowledge in such a good manner. I hope that you were able to continue with the same passion, the same adequacy, the same force, this great work you do, and they reflect which we see on our happy children. I hope that's going to be a great period, these 2 days that we'll have together. And as Rethymno is a city that you will not come, that you want to come back, to return, we hope to see you back in Rethymno really, really soon. Thank you. Of Crete helped us seriously. It would be a large sponsor of this conference, and I wish to thank the region of Crete and, of course, the Vice Governor. Now, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Minister, Mr. Mayor, dear organizers, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the island of Crete. For those of you who come from other countries, from Europe and abroad, welcome to the city of Rethymno. Now, on behalf of the region of Crete, I wish to salute the opening of this conference, which is hosted in our city. I hope that you will enjoy your staying in our city and to your significant others. Of course, I need to say I'm not the most appropriate person to talk about the biological and health benefits of breastfeeding, because these are issues that have been discussed by contemporary medicine. Breastfeeding, it is not a prerogative just for mothers. Its practice is an issue of the promotion of public health. Leaving aside those benefits, in other words, the biological ones, breastfeeding contributes to the greater structure of the psyche, of the mental health of the child, in other words. Any given mother who has passed from this experience, she believes that breastfeeding is not just about feeding, but it is a relationship of life, a true legacy for a child and for the adult. And especially we, mothers and women, tend to understand that. Now, nature, through its wisdom, has helped us a lot, and one of these issues is to be able to breastfeed, especially in terms of the cognitive, emotional, and social well-being of people, and of course children. As region of Crete, Marinakis, we want always to help and support such events that want to inform and engage local communities in issues related to their health and the society at large. Of course, we all understand that health is the substance of our life, as far as our future, our activities, our dreams, and our hopes are concerned. As far as the protection of health of our children, your own scientific and human factor is crucial. The work that you have been doing is of paramount importance as life itself. We thus understand your great contribution, and we want to thank you for the attention you show on this important issue, despite the adverse conditions under which you might have to operate. So a warm congratulations to the organizers for the special conference that you have where you celebrate breastfeeding with the support of Greek and international speakers. Good luck to your conference, and I hope you will enjoy your staying in our city, the city of Rethymno, in the island of Crete. Thank you. Now we have the honor, Great Rethymnian, the Minister of Health, to open the conference. Andreas Xanthos, Minister of Health. Good morning. Dear conference organizers, representatives from local and municipal authorities, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, I fully believe this is an important issue, an important conference, and I'm happy to be able to attend your event, which wishes to promote breastfeeding. Breastfeeding, as it was already mentioned from previous speakers, is of paramount scientific importance for the well-being of newborn and children. It is equally an important indicator of human health. It is an indicator of public health for a country, and it has concrete benefits for children and mothers. Indeed, there is an issue. There was some bad performance of Greeks in this aspect. Fortunately, there is a recent study after a decade by the Institute of the Health of the Child, where we compare the data with 2007 with 2017, where we see that there is a great positive tendency. So we have double the percentage of women who breastfeed in the first 6 months of the life of a newborn. There is an increase of the starting point of breastfeeding in the first period, and this trend is related to the scientific community and, of course, to the authorities to be able to establish it as a stable, positive trend. And I believe that is one of the few public health indicators that have not suffered during the crisis. Maybe this is related to financial issues, in order to be able to understand this perspective, but I believe this is a positive outcome, and also the fact that there are quite some steps that have been made towards this direction. For example, I could refer to the greater number of hospitals which are friendly to newborns, which is a mechanism for the promotion and reinforcement of breastfeeding. It is the new log of newborns, health log of newborns, which reflects this trend of the promotion of breastfeeding. With the different curves of development, we see that we have this trend. We also have the consent form for mothers that we have established as Ministry of Health to substitute breastfeeding right from the first days of the upbringing of the newborn. So there are quite some steps, but what we need, and this demands quite some work, is to be able to change people's understanding, people's culture, in order to be able to prove that breastfeeding is the path of nature. Breastfeeding is what we should do. This is the social norm, whereas people used to say that the norm was the use of artificial milk. And we fully understand that this has to do totally with some corporate interests and incentives. So we need to see that breastfeeding is what we should promote, and it is not simply a right, but it should be a choice for women. And I'm not trying to be ethical right now. I'm not here to accuse women who unfortunately cannot breastfeed or have not been convinced about the benefits of breastfeeding. But it is an effort which we should implement to establish the financial, social and work conditions which are needed in order for women to be able to breastfeed as such. So we need to create the appropriate conditions. So I thus believe we need a more concrete and a more focused national planning for breastfeeding. That is why the Greek scientific community should contribute towards this direction. And I believe that our objective should be to promote breastfeeding not as an initiative. It should not be a unique prerogative for women, but we should have a collective approach, a collective responsibility to be able to promote and establish breastfeeding. Good luck to your conference, and I'm confident that you will hear some important speakers and you will receive the Greek hospitality.